1972, at college, my good friend Rick Hine is a senior, and he gets hired to be a resident advisor for a cottage that is school housing. A resident advisor is an upperclassman who is responsible for the well-being of the underclassmen in the facility. So one day early in September, Rick decided, kind of as a bonding thing, that he would call everybody in the house in to the bathroom, and he tells them, "You want to see a geyser?" 12 guys squeeze into the bathroom to see a geyser. Rick takes a cherry bomb and flushes it down the toilet, waits for the geyser. The toilet shatters. There's no geyser. There's actually a gusher of water coming up. And of course, he's the resident advisor, and he didn't have much time to think about the cover-up, but what he came up with was to have the residents take the refrigerator that was in the kitchen and then bring it in the bathroom and tip it over, and then say that they were moving the new refrigerator into the house and it accidentally slipped on the toilet. Now, a lot of people will be skeptical about lugging this refrigerator, but Rick had such charisma and such a generous spirit that these suckers all carried the refrigerator and put it over the toilet. When campus security comes, Rick tells them the story, and even though the campus security, they're not FBI agents, but they see right through this. They are very reluctant, even knowing that this is not true, but they've got to report Rick to the dean. He did lose his position as an RA, but they did allow him to stay in school and eventually graduate. So 31 years later, in 2003, Rick calls me, and by this time he has had a career as an officer in the Marine Corps, and two of his children have graduated from Annapolis. He lives in San Diego, and he says, "Paul, would you like to come to the Army-Navy football game?" The game, of course, is in Philadelphia. I'm in North Jersey, and he says, I can get you a ticket free. And it's, oh, that would be great. So I go to the football game with him, and it's, for people who don't know about football, the Army-Navy game is bigger than the Super Bowl, or it's cooler than the Super Bowl. They have flyovers, the march-ons, just the importance of winning this game. And Rick, when he goes to the game, his generous spirit, we walked across the parking lot because I met him at the train station, and everybody is saying, "Oh, hi, Colonel Hine, hi, Mr. Hine," because he just knows everyone. The parking attendants, he just goes out and asks anyone, store clerks, he asks, "How's your day?" And he's just accumulated Army side, Navy side, every side. So we go to the game, and the one problem is that being a Marine and his children going to the Naval Academy, I kind of have to root for Navy. But my grandfather, my aunt, and uncle both served in the Army. Our house in North Jersey is 40 minutes from West Point, so they're kind of our home team. So I have to pretend I'm rooting for Navy. Rick gets me tickets for the next 14 years of the game. In that time, Navy has a winning streak of 14 games. And I get so good at faking it, I'm even referring to Navy as we. But then the 15th year, Army stuns Navy. And I have to do everything I can to suppress my joy. It is just torture, but I say, So then the next year, Rick calls and says, Paul, I'm sorry, because Army finally won, the tickets are in so much demand, I can't get any tickets. They're on StubHub, $300 is the I'm just sorry, I can't do it for you. And I said, Rick, I understand. The day of the Army-Navy game, it's miserable weather. It's snowing, it's raining, it's sleet. Nobody is driving their cars. I realize I can take a train from New Jersey to Philadelphia, get a ticket from a scalper, and see the game. So I go, and the scalper is asking for $20 for the ticket. And I could have negotiated him to 15, but I felt bad for him. I go, 20. I joined Rick at the game, and Army is winning by 1 point. They come, Navy sets up with 5 seconds left on the clock for a field goal for the win, and the Navy kicker misses by a couple inches. I realize I'm not the guest of Rick this time. So I'm singing the Army fight song, high-fiving the West Point fans, and I might have even said to Rick, loser. And Rick is so generous. He has continued in subsequent years to getting me my ticket for the Army-Navy game every year. There might be a little bit of resentment for Cook. Once he came to my house and he said to my children, kids, do you want to see a geyser?